Hello, honey. Hi, how are you?
Hi, happy Capricorn New Moon.
Yes, thank you. With that being said, let's go ahead and clear our energies with the meditation singing bowl and let's get started. All right.
Chewbacca's hungover.
It was her birthday
Nice.
yesterday, so happy birthday, honey. I hope you had a good time last night.
I hope so too.
You're losing your voice? Oh, geez. What did you scream? It was an insane birthday bash. Well, I'm glad you went out and had fun.
Happy
Yeah.
summer return. This is when the sun returns to its original position as it was at your birth. It's representative of a whole new clean slate. Anything that's been disappointing in the last solar year for you, which is December to December, goes away like poof, like magic, and you have a whole new year to celebrate renewal. So go
That
for it.
sounds yeah, that sounds great.
Go for it. Yeah.
We could all use a bit of renewal about now.
Yeah.
Hello, Mimi.
Is it yesterday? My mother's birthday was, uh, that was 21st. She would have been 97 this week.
Oh, is she a
Really hard to believe. Yeah. Really, really hard to believe she would be. I kept trying to envision what she would be looking like, little old lady cranking around.
well, not too bad. You said 76?
97.
Oh, 90. Oh, geez, 97.
Yeah. She died when she was 75.
Okay, got it. Oh.
Oh, that's nice. Fire breathers. Wow. Sounds like
Whoa. What
winter
kind of
solstice.
party did you have?
That sounds like a winter solstice celebration too.
And a crazy snowstorm. I know it's cold up there because it's cold where we're at.
Yeah, I may end up like this before we're done because it's cold here, man. It's like 17 or something. I don't know.
Uh-huh,
It was
uh-huh.
50 this morning. So before I say something about the new moon, I had an epiphany a little while ago. Um, Susan Manuel is an astrologer up in upper state New York. I don't know if she still practices or not, but her whole thing was helio astrology, which is all about weather patterns. And when you think about what we've been through this year with the Saturn Uranus square, what that represents is Saturn saying, you know, we're structured, we don't change, we have order and rules, and then squaring Uranus going, oh, it's a whole new world and everything's going to change. So it's been this tension between these two planets about uh, just stuck and steady or total upheaval and chaos. Okay, that's been the Saturn Uranus square on and off all year. It fluctuates in intensity. Well, we've passed the last point of its most intensity. So it's getting separated more and more as we get to the end of the month. But Saturn and Uranus represent weather patterns a lot. And so this morning here in Virginia, it was 50 degrees and rainy. And not even 8 hours later, it's 20 degrees with 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So it just came to me like here was this normal, steady weather pattern that's typical for this time of year in this region. And then bam, Uranus flows in, some kind of Arctic blast cyclone thing they called it. And that square, that's just so typical of two energies butting heads, and wanting to go different directions and what it may create. So I just think that's very interesting how some of these aspects between planets affect our weather.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Oh, wow, that's nice. Well, Shabaka, do you have any video footage of your night? Because that sounds interesting, honey. I'm just reading over your comments over
I
here.
know. Isn't Capricorn about business? Pretty much all about
Yeah,
business.
it's like, yeah, I'm going to see a fire breather. Oh, by the way, do you want some hats? I got some in my trunk. Like,
It's an interesting dichotomy we're under. It is a Capricorn new moon, early degrees. It's considered a super moon. It's the first of 5 new moons that are at 1 degree in the new year, ending this year and beginning the new year. And I think for you out there on the West Coast, it was 2:17 this morning and 5:17 on the East Coast. So we're past the exact point of the new moon. Of course, it lasts for about 3 days. And we had the winter solstice a couple of days ago. So, that's the longest night of the year for 3 days. So there's a lot of increments of 3 going on, it seems like. And then along with the new moon today, Chiron station direct. And we don't talk about Chiron a whole lot. It's one of the newer planetary discoveries, discovered in 1977. At first, they didn't know if it was an asteroid or a comet or what it was, but it's technically classified now as a minor planet and comet. And it's associated mostly with Jupiter or Sagittarius because it's in a region of planets called the Centaurs. So it gives you that wounded healer feeling, the disciplinarian, centaurs were known for higher education and travel and culture, and they would do quite a bit of sacrifice for the betterment of mankind. So interesting energy. With Capricorn, it's all about like ruled by Saturn. That's our bone structure. And what we were talking about before we came on live is, between the solar flares intensity, we had the sun go into Capricorn this week. We've had a lot of shifts of energy with every lunation for a few months now. And that Uranus Saturn square has been at play too, which is very push me, pull me. All of a sudden you're steady, and then all of a sudden the rug's pulled out from under you. Just a very chaotic kind of energy, and nobody really knows what's going on. And it's just kind of an interesting, almost dreamscape. Like you don't really distinguish between timelines or what's real or what's not, or what to believe or what not to believe, all those kinds of energies. And I really believe that just general aches and pains in the structure, because Saturn is about our bones. It's about structure in our life. And, our teeth are bones, so it can involve the teeth, particularly in the Zodiac chart, the 10th house, which is what Capricorn rules, which is profession and honor and reputation, is the knees. So, I feel like between all of the chaotic barometric pressures and shifts in weather, hey, how are you? And that you could be experiencing just kind of achiness, and not from any kind of um, sickness or anything, but just our
Well, I don't
bodies
know, like
are electricity and water. So, I mean, we have to figure out a way to respond to all the shifts. And I guess all of us are going to, maybe manifest that differently. Um,
right. So, like me being a Capricorn, I'm always complaining about my knees and my joint, like joint juice, right?
yeah.
But this time I have like this cobblestone thing in my throat where I'm
Okay.
having like a nasal drip. And
Yeah.
I was like freaking out. I was like, what, am I getting sick? Because I took my mother to the hospital a couple
Oh,
days
no.
ago. But I mean, she's fine. It's just I got exposed to the jujus, and I'm like, did I bring that shit home? Like, but no, I'm gonna shake it off. But yeah, I
Yeah.
got that going on. So it's like my
And weather
body.
temperatures, dramatically changing. And when was it years ago, the El Nino, they would talk about the jet stream.
Hmm.
And, you don't hear about that a whole lot anymore. But I do think those patterns of currents and jet streams, it's only logical to know that we respond to those. And maybe we overlook that. Maybe we try to make some logic to it when really we just need to be kind of surfing through it. you know, um,
Well, I think there's a lot of stuff that's going on with the planet, and also recently I saw that there was like a solar flare that
Really
hit.
intense ones. Yeah,
Yeah, that
for
hit the
sure.
actual planet, and it kind of
Right.
like, stirred some stuff up magnetically, in
Right.
the, core for us to, you
And
know
launching there was a launch of another satellite. So there
another
is
one?
a lot of stuff, that on a subconscious level we're responding to. And I don't know, a good bit of my article on lionmountain.com for this new moon has to do with embracing the stillness that Uranus, Saturn square Uranus will make us feel very confused and running around looking for logic, and there is none. Whereas Saturn, wants us to be still and be patient and allow our lessons to present themselves to us, sort of like, an exam. Like, okay, well, here's your next test, soul. Are you going to choose to do the same thing you've done over and over in the same pattern that's gotten you where you didn't want to be? Or have you learned your lesson about a pattern and you're going to try a different way now? So, Saturn is a lot about growing up and emotional maturity. Uh,
Mhm.
Certainly, the last couple of years with what society has gone through has challenged all levels of that. You've seen adults regress back into like teenagers, and you've seen teenagers stepping up to take responsibilities of entire families. So a lot of roles have been changing. Another thing that uh, Chiron stationed direct today at 11 degrees 56 minutes in Aries. So that's 11:11. And it stays at 11:11 for 3 days. Well, like from the 20th to the 27th.
Mhm.
Now, 11:11 in the twin flame journey is believed to be like a sign of twin flames. And, pay attention to what you're thinking when you see it is a signifier of what's going on in your reality. If you were not talking twin flames, 11:11 is a spiritual number of all the multidimensional selves being where they're supposed to be. If you don't have a significant person in your life, and um, you know it doesn't apply to a relationship, just you with you, 11:11 to me, when I see it, confirms I'm where I'm supposed to be. Like, you might go do something and you're uncertain if you should do it. It could be something like a job interview. We're talking about Capricorn, so it'll probably be like work related, or some kind of goal, or So you're going somewhere for new business or new opportunity, and you're not sure if you should, and you roll around the corner, and on the license plate in front of you is 1111. To me, that's the universe speaking to you numerology wise of you're right where you're supposed to be. It's sort of a nice confirmation, like
It's
if
almost like also like, hey, pay attention to what's going on right
yeah,
now. And then like kind of journal like what is going on in
yeah,
that moment.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's so for Chiron to be at that very special number for a week could mean a lot of it's also squaring Venus, which Venus is about love and money. Squares are tension. They're tension and pressure we put on ourselves. I don't know if anybody remembers that old song. I think Queen did it, David Bowie did it, Under Pressure.
Mhm.
And so you're like in a pressure cooker trying to figure out, your decisions. Is your pressure about where do you go to spend the holiday? Or you've got too many pieces and parts of the family and everybody wants to have control and push me, pull you this way, push me that way. And you're caught in the middle saying, well, I really don't want to do any of that. And I'd like to blow it all off and go do da da da. So, originally Chiron rules synchronicity. So I think you'll be seeing some interesting synchronicities over these last 2 weeks of the year. Um, it's about manifesting your thoughts. So we want to be really cognizant of what we're thinking because we will manifest it. If
Really?
Oh yeah. And that means if you're thinking something you fear, just you've got to alt control delete that pattern from your brain because
Mhm.
whatever we're thinking privately within ourselves, it will come to pass. And that's a constant, battle in the mind to be watchful of, what are you thinking and think only good thoughts, and this is a really good time because of the push me pull me. Mercury's getting ready to slow down to go to station retrograde. Um, when is that? That's in, I did write it down. So that's from December 29th to January 18th. So the 29th is with less than a week away. So we're already starting to feel that whole Mercury retrograde energy, which is about reclusiveness. So here we are at a party time last couple of weeks of the year, especially if you have a birthday like Chewbacca, you're
Mhm.
really celebrating. And you're getting ready to celebrate your solar return just after the first of the year. So,
Mhm.
a lot of partying going on, and um, it would be easy to be maybe a little, um, I don't want to say poor judgment, but this type of energy can support spontaneity. And I love spontaneity, but this last 2 weeks of the year is probably not a time to be spontaneous. Um, it's probably more of a time to think about what you want to do, write down your goals, write down your plan instead of actually putting it into play. Um,
Mhm.
and there's some things that are out of our control where we've got to go with it, as it comes, and we do that. So, um, here's where I have to assert, in astrology, nothing is absolute. These are potentials of energy that we all respond to differently. And the more sensitive you are to energy, the more chaotic and maybe upset you might be feeling. And, you know, this whole thing about shifts of planets and signs and going direct to retrograde and retrograde to direct, and the sun changing sign, the winter solstice, all of these kinds of shifts um, can definitely make you feel beaten up, could definitely make you feel more depressed. So we have to fight through that. And I mean, fight through it by acknowledge it. If you're feeling a little, I don't know how anybody else feels about the holidays. I'm not a holiday person, but I'm not a Grinch. I mean, I know it's here and people celebrate it, and but I'm just happy when the new year gets here. I'm more of a, let's wipe the slate clean. Let's start with the new year. 2022 has been very difficult for people with the economy and job market and, health scares, all the things that we've been battling as a society. So, but, I think it's being comfortable with knowing what you do feel and trying to be authentic to that, and um, yeah, the whole, yeah, it gets out of hand with all the spending and gifts and stuff. Really the most precious thing we can do with people we love is to spend time, right?
Mhm.
What's more precious than time? But people tend to like shove a present at you. It's like, okay, I'm done with you next, and
No, I mean, like, even right now, I'm spending time with my family.
that's awesome.
Um, yeah, they're here with me, until my birthday. Um,
That's awesome.
and so I don't need anything from them. I like my mama's
Making
cooking.
memories. Yeah,
That's
making
right.
memories. Um, I'm around this new office and everybody's been great, and everybody has a lot of family and traveling and tradition that they've been all excited about, and I really do very little. And I feel fortunate that I have memories of family gatherings, right? And people that do get together and have family. I always just try to encourage you, make those memories, because the memories are what fill the void in your heart when your loved one is gone. And I have a couple of brothers who never took time with their parents. They have no memories, and they're miserable people in their old age because they just really missed out on taking their mind off themselves and, you know, showing thanks to the people that showed them support and love and help them in life.
Mhm.
And, the relationships with our parents can be very challenging. Um, so, if you do have a good relationship with family, make the most of it in the last part of the year, and just try to be tolerant of, bad behavior with relatives, best you
Oh, no,
can.
I mean, it wasn't all, like, peachy perfect, there was a little,
Yeah.
um, confrontation, but, um,
Listen, Aquarius energy in the square from Saturn has brought up a lot of issues about friendship, right? Says, so, Aquarius is all about friend zone. And really, when you have a healthy, intimate relationship, you've built on a solid friendship. Most long-term commitments you see between people, they were friends first, and that friendship foundation is what gets them through the times of struggle, or the times of insecurity, or the times of questioning their faith or truth, or whatever might go on for people. So friends is a big uh, subject right now, and I don't know what it is necessarily. I think it's Saturn that teaches us. It's very easy that if a friend disappoints you, to just dismiss them, or just hold it against them. And what Saturn asks us to do is, uh, have empathy for why they said or did whatever they did that you feel offended about, and just try to let them be that person without, you know, without marking them off your list, or um, I'm trying to think of an example. an old friend of mine really did something that, oh, it's so stupid now that I try to think about it. We were sitting across from each other at a table, and she was spitting the way she was talking, and she was spitting. And I was seeing spit come towards me. Okay.
Mhm.
And I was like going back and closing my eyes, and in my head I was like, that bitch is spitting on me.
Sorry.
And I'm like, no, I know she's not intentionally, but I think of everything so deeply. I always want
Some
to find
people are just so used to being so loud and animated, and no one had the decency to tell them, say, hey, do you know like you're spitting on me when you talk?
I know. And here's all this leftover food between us, and they packaged it up, and it was, you know, some flounder and some potatoes and bread, and it was like really good leftovers. I threw it all out. I was like, I think it's been spit on, and I know
Oh,
that she
God.
doesn't have any disease or anything, but I just can't get that vision out of my head. Okay. So then it was like I really felt kind of like grossed out, like that was just gross.
I think that was like that time when you told me that you're going in training and that lady was hovering all over you and she's
Oh
like,
yeah,
sick and
yeah.
she's
I, and for 2 weeks, y'all, I did a chat with you all. I had a horrible head cold for like 2 weeks. It was horrible. Oh my god. I still, she's like an admin person, so I don't have to be her friend. But this lady I've known for years, and I guess I slept on it. And the next morning, something in my mind was just, we can just be too sensitive and overthink too much. People do not intend to set out and hurt your feelings or spit in your face or, whatever
well, I
you
think
perceive
what
they did.
so the thing is that the perceived person, the person who is seeing things from their point of view, isn't seeing things from another person's perspective. And so it's not fair for someone to get angry or upset
Right,
because you're thinking to yourself, you're not really communicating and say,
right.
hey, honey, but do you know that you spit whenever and it may come out, like, insensitive,
Yeah,
but, they have to, like, hear it, but
yeah.
I know that, like, sometimes that might cause, like, another argument in
I
itself.
honestly think she saw it happen because this expression came over her face like, you
Oh,
know,
shoot, like, it might
like, and then she talked over it. And what I should have done, I guess, is tried to bring it up as like some kind of joke. It's like, what are you spitting all over? And anyway,
yeah, you can be creative but, I know sometimes, all we're thinking is that she's just spitting and,
all I knew is I saw sputum coming towards me. And so then the next day, I was like, you know what? You've known her for years. She's a good girl. She was not spitting on you. You know what I mean? It's just that whole taking things too personally and um, being too hard on people. We're hard on ourselves in a spiritual journey.
Mhm.
So it's only natural to project that on other people, and so, trying to lighten up
You
and be
shoulda
better.
gave her a napkin, it's like
But that would have been, or I could have like held up, like a wall,
like,
a
"What are
piece of
you doing?"
plexiglass. I needed some
Well, I saw
plexiglass.
the spit coming out, and so I didn't wanna interrupt you because you were telling me something
Oh, it
important.
gives me an idea to like take some plexiglass the next time I meet her. Set it up. This is so your sputum doesn't reach my food.
It's like, "Go ahead, what were you saying?"
I know, I know, I know. But the whole point is like end of the year and partying and holidays and whatever you do or do not celebrate. It really does bring up those value systems about friendships, trust, um, and oh God, the stories that if you just are quiet and you listen to other people around you and what they're saying, we've all experienced similar situations, and it really boils down to someone's ego just wanting to be in charge or in
Wanting to be heard,
control, or and
yeah.
that creates a lot of angst with people who are just trying to get along. um, So these energies are really interesting with the death of the ego, and especially when you've got groups of people trying to focus on a plan, planning that event, planning that meal, planning, and if you have multiple families, like you have to go to this one in the morning and this one in the afternoon, and you're traveling over the weekend and then you're coming back. So it's everybody's busier and doing, even if you're low key, it just seems to be busier. And
Well, even with the ice storm, I mean, I know Shabaka was able to see a freaking flamethrower and stuff, but
I know.
for the rest of us, it's difficult to go out there and do basics, because of the weather. But
Well, and I've tried to keep an open mind about not letting weather affect, um, what you need to do. I was sitting here the other night, and I don't know, for a couple of weeks, I just haven't been to the grocery store. And the
mm,
weather was talking about what a horrible weekend it was going to be. And it's like, I have no food. I have dried beans. If I really got hard up, I could eat peanut butter and jelly and bean soup.
I've
Those are
been
my
eating it every
standbys.
day. Like I have a bagel every morning, and I just put on the jelly and the peanut butter, and I am good.
Well, I was like, I really need to get some food in here if we're gonna get iced in or whatever. So it was like 8 o'clock at night, really cold, and I go to the grocery store, which is very out of my routine because normally I'd be like, oh, it's late and cold and I don't feel like it. But I've been trying to push aside those preconceived boundaries, you know what I mean? And um I think that's what this energy is trying to get us to think differently or go a different route to get to the same place. Or, if you get an invitation, it's said that the universe presents you with an invitation and you should really try to accept it. So, you know, um, that's hard. We get stuck in our ways and in our some opinions and perceptions. And so I think the combination of the Capricorn New Moon, and it is the stationing of Chiron making a square to Venus, and the Sun moving into Capricorn, Mercury slowing down to go retrograde, the winter solstice. We've got a lot of shifting that to me usually means change the way you look at things. Um, if you're feeling negative or stubborn or down about anything, try to do like that, peel the onion and get down to what is it really? What is the root of that thought? What is it really about? And, a square between Chiron and Venus is all about learning your lessons with your love and your money. So that can play out in all kinds of ways. With,
Mhm.
I know a girl at work, she's always chatting about her boyfriend and she calls him by name. And these are people, I think, in their early 40s or so, and they went to high school together and both went their separate ways and had marriages and divorces. And then about 6 years ago, ran into each other and have been dating ever since. And he did live with her, but her daughter didn't like him, so he moved out. So that up until yesterday, it was all about da 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 da. And yesterday she comes in and she goes, yeah. And the boyfriend, I was like, oh,
Doesn't have a name anymore.
boyfriend now, not that, ooey
He
gooey
got
name.
demoted.
I know, definitely a shift of energy there. And you can just watch how this time of year does that to groups of people. It just brings on more pressure and stress. We're under already a lot of pressure and shifts of energy planetarily.
Mhm.
So, I feel like if you have aches and pains, it might just be that, the energy. Um,
Yeah, we just all need to shake it off and do kumbaya and call it a
well,
day.
and I was telling you before we went on, it's like, I'm really not a Grinch. Uh, I have a lot to be grateful for. I'm really glad this year's over. But
Can I ask
yeah,
you, and I know you're gonna get to the but.
but
I want to know what 2023 is all about because I don't feel like, I don't know. Is it gonna get worse than
no,
this year?
no. These
Is it
last
gonna
three
get
years,
better?
yeah, these last 3 years have been that Pluto Saturn conjunction in late 2019. We're past it. Pluto tears everything down. So we've
Mhm.
been in the total dismantling of social mores, um, uh,
A lot of truths being revealed.
yeah, and so what happens after Pluto scorches the earth, so to speak, is slowly we rebuild. And the promise of Pluto is it always rebuilds back better that which it destroyed.
So
So,
do you feel that 2023 is the start of the rebuild?
absolutely, I think that we have a lot to look forward to. I feel very optimistic about the economy and um, people being more responsible. I think a whole lot of the issues have been everybody pushing off responsibility on something else instead of taking ownership of your behavior, your actions, your choices. If you made bad choices, own it. It's
Mhm.
nobody else's fault. We all can regret choices. We can all double think and have hindsight about, well, I wish I would have da 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 da, you know.
Maybe it wasn't the vibrational alignment at the time, even if you
Maybe it
weren't
is a
this
degree
way.
of self sacrifice
Mhm.
because I believe in this journey, spiritual journey, to a degree, we sacrifice ourselves for the betterment of the good. And a lot of times, spiritual people have to go through and feel dark nights of the soul in order to stand strong, having survived it, and be the rock for other people. And as readers, we have people that come to us all the time who are demoralized, hurting, confused. So, we can honestly sit there and reflect on, you know, I don't know about you, but most people I've read for, I can relate to them and what they're going through at some timeline in my life.
Mhm.
Like I remember something similar. And then I think we draw people to us that way, in that we've gone through it. That's what Chiron and the centaur energy is the wounded healer. Like, how to help other people heal through your own pain. And that's a real sacrificial kind of energy. And it's real frustrating too, because sometimes we'd like just to have a nice, surface level, superficial life and not give a damn so deeply. But that's just not the gig this time, right? This
Right. Yeah. It's like, can I pass this off to somebody else so I could take a break? Like,
late. So keeping that in perspective, when we're trying to, and the other thing sensitive people do is pick up negativity of other people around them. So a
mhm.
lot of times, if you're feeling a little puny or crappy, really sit and think about, where have you been? Have you been out in a large crowd of people? Are you absorbing the other vibrations of people? Take a shower, take one of your salt baths, do something that you're consciously cleansing your aura and your energy. And oming, prayer, um, the smudge sticks, the clearing. So in this new office where I am, I overheard someone talking about who used to sit in that office, and I had not heard of the karma of my office. And so I was like, oh, please tell me, do I need to like sage my space? I actually said that. And one of the attorneys goes, oh, no, we already saged it.
That's
So
funny.
I know. So it's like, these kind of feel like a tribe of some sort where they speak my language, and
Oh, that's kind of refreshing. A bunch of like attorneys or law
they're young.
abiding citizens
That's
are,
the difference. kids. They're young. They're like between the ages of 35 and 40.
Oh, well, okay, they're okay. They're not
Yeah.
that young. They have some experience behind their belt.
Well, compared to like attorneys who are like 60 and 70,
Mhm.
that generation can be very condescending.
Well, yeah, they're kinda
Yeah.
stuck in their ways in that
Yeah.
regard.
The
Mm,
younger generations are much more, just
flexible.
like in medicine. So doctors who come out of medical school now, just like lawyers who come out of law school, it's damn near impossible to hang your own shingle and start your own business. You almost have to hook up something corporately to find the pay that you need to help you pay back your educational loans. And that's really, really sad because, 50 years ago, people hung out their shingle and they practiced their skill, whatever it was, and they carved out a living for themselves. And the more and more obtrusive um, government and corporate entities have become, you can't compete with it. I had a little greenhouse years ago, and my goal was to sell organic herbs to local chefs at night, like nicer restaurants. Well, I just headed out like, well, of course I'm going to do this. And I would pack up my little potted herbs in my trunk of my car and I'd drive them here and drive them there. And they would tell me, well, we get ours from da da da, which is this huge produce company. I was like, but they're not organic. Well, it's all about the almighty bottom line. They didn't give a rat's butt that they were not organic. They have volume to fulfill and a budget to work within. So, you know, I ended up selling herbs to a feed and seed hardware store. That's where I
Mhm.
would sell my potted herbs. But my point is, it's like, each decade it's made it harder and harder for an individual to just be an individual and have their craft.
So you're saying that we're turning more into a socialistic
So, well,
society?
we already have. And what this tearing down has been to implode those structures, right?
Mm.
That's where Saturn wants structure. Uranus says, oh no, we're going to find a new way to do this.
So
So
there's gonna be some
we're
demolition action going on.
imploding, right? And that's where everyone will have that creative opportunity and instinct to do their own thing, make that widget or make that knit hat or, do that thing that is your skill and unique to you. And I appreciate you wanting to buy herbs from me, but a storm in 2006 destroyed my greenhouse. So I haven't had a greenhouse for a few years. I've thought about doing another one, but
It
well,
takes
gee,
human resource.
yeah. I have two little puppies that demand my time when I'm not doing like earning money or whatever.
Mhm, mhm. I got you. Um, so yeah, that I find it very interesting because of some of the you know recent events. One of which was in Washington recently, and yeah, I
So
don't know.
I haven't been watching. Fill me in. I was it a protest? Was it that?
No, Zelensky came to United States and he got
Oh, I missed all of that. Okay.
signed a big check for like billions of
Oh, the
dollars.
omnibus.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, I think it's all fed to us as a script. I don't know that they're not just all actors playing some kind of really bad movie. I don't know.
I
Does
don't know where this money comes from.
it doesn't. That's why it's like crazy. I did see a little blip about, what party voted what and how many crossed the aisle, blah blah blah. Well, maybe it has to get so absurd that the MK Ultra people who have hung on every word of the big media, it has to get so absurd for them to start questioning, right? They have to start questioning, just like you said, where's the money come from? Is
Mhm.
this logical? Does this make any sense at all? And you've got people, in your own neighborhoods that need heat. It doesn't make any sense. And you know what Judge Judy always says?
What?
If it doesn't make sense, then it isn't true. I love
Oh.
that saying from her because that is so poignant. I mean, it just, if it doesn't, just like love relationships. I don't know, when I'm getting ready early in the morning, there's this show coming on that's on the TV. My dogs watch it. My
Mhm.
dogs watch TV. And it's called Cheaters. Have y'all seen this show?
I
It's
mean, I've seen
crazy.
one or two, but
It's
not a whole.
crazy. I mean, it's crazy. And it's crazy.
Your
And
dogs watch Cheaters?
I know.
Where they go, "Meow, meow, meow, meow," you know, like
I know. They make their commentary and they take an opinion and they just think it's horrible, some of the way people treat each other. But it's like these people, whether it's not exclusive to men cheating on women. I mean, it's women cheating on men too.
Mhm.
And same sex cheating too. I mean, it's not exclusive to a gender. And like whoever's cheating will like look that person straight in the eyes like, that's not true. I didn't, blah, blah, blah. And they got it on film. Like, oh,
Mhm.
we got you. Yeah, uh-huh.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
it's
can you
like
tell
the
me
way people
again?
can you know, blindly believe in something that just doesn't make sense. And that's kind of a weird metaphor of what I was trying to explain. But,
Mhm.
there's a very real manipulation that's gone on in our world for a long, long time. And that Pluto Saturn conjunction was the beginning of exposing it.
Mhm.
And I don't know if we want to go here, but this thing that ends in 19, does anyone ever wonder why it ended in the number 19 and we saw it in the year ending 20? Has anyone ever questioned where did that number come from? And some may say that that whole plan and manipulation was really supposed to have rolled out in 19. So right there, you have patents that you can research with the Library of Congress for jabs that were created more than a year before the thing itself was even brought out in the open. So why is that? That doesn't make sense. I feel like I'm speaking in some kind of
No, that's just like with
broken language, but I don't want to
there was a cure for
explain.
AIDS already. There was a patent for
Right,
a cure for AIDS.
right.
And they're sitting here like, well, we need money for research and funding for this disease, and it's like if you look it up, it's available, and it's whatever, I don't know what they're trying to get rich off of, but can't they just like live their life? Like,
Well, it's some kind of like greed money cycle, right? Because
I
it's
don't understand. Like, isn't there more to life than just making money like that? Like,
well,
I
you and
don't.
I in this chat believe that, but I think we're probably the minority of people. I think
Yeah.
that, a spiritual journey has a lot to do with sacrifice and, maybe not wanting the generic choices and lifestyles that the script would have us believe. For little girls, it's, you're going to meet Prince and you're going to have a family and you're going to have, the home. And it's sort of a fairy tale. I don't know what men get brought up to believe. Do they get brought up to believe they're going to meet the wife who's going to cook and clean for them? I don't know. But my point is, it's like there are these scripts, and unless you make a conscious effort to go out of the script, you're not going to question anything. And you probably would put up with behaviors in a marriage or relationship that you shouldn't, because you feel that obligation, you know. And these Uranus transits of the last 2 or 3 years have been all about people breaking free. You know, they want to be away from the chains of toxicity in relationships. And even if those relationships are parents and siblings, those are some of the hardest emotions to process. Is that, you know, your own mother could be very toxic towards you, or your own, you know, your best girlfriend could be, you know, betraying you behind your back. I mean, those are all really things that if you could push them under and not deal with them, you might temporarily feel better. But it's like a blister, you know, those things under our emotional layers fester. And we have to process them as we come up so that they don't just blow like a. There's been another big volcanic eruption, which is another weather pattern of this Saturn Uranus square. It was an old one. Was it in Puerto Rico? That it hadn't been active for a long, long time. So even Mother Earth is just shifting and boiling and oozing, and you know, I just get this sense of breaking the chains that bind. You know, that people are starting to see
The truth.
the suppression of, you know, Big Brother, and this control and taking freedoms. And we've all been somewhat manipulated to believe that we're supposed to give up our freedoms. And so this is a very chaotic, changeable time. And I think that maybe some of the things we see on TV have to have that degree of absurdity, so that folks who still want to hang on every sort of script might start questioning, you know, I don't know if I believe that. I've gotten so I don't believe anything I see on the news. I try to see what's on, you know, what is the manipulation on the backside? All this stuff with Twitter.
That's a whole nother can of
Yeah.
stuff. But you know, it's a lot. Now I think Elon is actually looking for a replacement, and I don't blame him because he's gotten so much backlash, you know. But he uncovered a lot of stuff.
Well, you know, there was a rumor I heard about Truth Social purchasing Twitter. So, you know how we've watched over the years different corporations buy each other up? You
Hmm.
know, a lot of media corporations have been doing that. So, um, another reminder notice of this energy would be the only thing permanent is change. So, the more easily we learn to go with the flow when things are changing and shifting, the happier we'll be. Um, Happy is a state of mind, right? And so we get to choose whether or not we wake up and we're sad and depressed because, you know, we're not getting that magic of the spirit of the holiday that is, you know, plastered everywhere, like families, everything. And, you know, love is in the air, and you're sitting there alone eating a bowl of cereal. And, you know, lucky to have enough money to keep gas in your car. You know,
Hmm.
that's the reality for a lot of us. So I think trying to reconcile those dichotomies, you know, not buying into the fairy tale script, but not getting down because it's not the fairy tale script, and trying to find that nice even place where you're good with your soul, you know, you're good with yourself, you know. It's interesting how many tests Saturn will give us. And Chiron is the same kind of energy about learning lessons and learning from your pain. But I was wondering recently as I was looking at all of this stuff to come up with an article about, I wonder how many people ever pause to stop, like the gossip. Like say you have a circle of friends and there's always a lot of power struggles, uh, gossip. Somebody wants to control. It's that whole hierarchy of tribes and human nature, right? And
Mhm.
then you've got people like us who are basically, and the people in this chat, we're basically loners. We basically would rather be with our pets than human beings. But only out of, I think, lifetimes of having learned the lessons. But my point is, do you ever think that, say you've got the head person in that clique or whatever, um, do you ever think that a person like that lives their life very superficially, ever stops to think that that's not how they should be living their life, or that they want to make other choices to have a different dynamic in their life? And I would say up till now, probably no, that people repeat their patterns over and over and over. But this is the kind of energy that would do just that, to make someone that has made poor choices a lot of times pause, and maybe that pause in the brain, which is Mercury slowing down, right? That's how our mind works. And Mercury slowing down slows down our mind, and pause before repeating a pattern. This could be an eating pattern. It could be an addiction pattern. It could be in your love relationship. It can be, I think right now, this time of year, it's a lot about families traveling and getting together. And, I can't tell you how many times I've heard like someone make a comment about the family dinner and how, oh, well, Uncle Bill, piss off Tom again, or, what I'm saying? It's like there's that dynamic of a gathering where the same pattern plays out and, you know, ruins the day for everybody or whatever. And this is the energy, well, maybe Uncle Tom, Uncle Bill, or whoever he is, before starting the tisket tasket with brother Tom or whatever, and just not, right? Just not repeat the pattern and see how that those little subtle shifts are what we're after, right? Like in the twin flame journey, when you just sit still and decide that everything the way it is, that you're not with your person, is okay, and that you learned whatever you needed to learn, that subtle acknowledgement is enough to shift your energy, to set you in another timeline or to set you into another direction. And I think we have to all be very patient about these lessons, because we just know we don't like how we feel right here. We don't like how they made us feel, and harping on those past feelings instead of just sitting in the present moment with the current feeling, accepting it, and just being open to, you know, maybe you'll enjoy yourself alone eating a bowl of cereal without going to the family chaos. I don't know
No,
if
I
I'm
think
explaining that very well, but that's the what I
no, I mean, I'm just speaking from my experience that I've I like being alone,
yeah.
but there are times where, having um, a person in my life would be nice. So,
Yeah, I think we're all pretty much loners on this journey, and that's why we come together, because we don't give each other any um,
judgment.
grief, yeah, about it. It's like that's fine, and I think it's better to be able to take responsibility and ownership for our behaviors and our decisions we make. I mean, if we're making decisions to spending more time reclusive than out circulating, then we don't have any reason to question why we're not meeting anyone.
I think I was just been closed off, you know. So, for me, it's taken 4 years for me to finally get over my twin, and I'm open for new experiences. I feel like I could benefit from being open to other people. Um, and if the twin decides to show up, then so be it. But I'm not waiting anymore. I want a new
And
experience.
that brings up the dynamic of generational karma,
Mm.
right? Because we've talked before about women waiting on their men. That is a generational pattern that goes back to cavemen, right? Because the man would go out to hunt, the woman would wait, keeping the fire going. Um, Men would go off to war, women wait, keeping the house together or whatever. So that whole dynamic is inbred in our generation of vibrations. And if you look into like your ancestry, like in the 3D, your family, their family, and go back as far as you can, there's patterns of alcoholism, there's patterns of suicide, there's patterns of uh, promiscuity, so these aren't just us here and now in this lifetime dealing with it. I mean,
Oh
I think,
no, I'm pretty sure I've picked up on my generational
yeah,
karmic ancestor,
yeah.
bloodlines per
I, I,
se
I
when it
think
comes
that's part
to
of what we're all going through is first figuring that out. What are the patterns? And then being consciously aware of those people or places that are the opportunities to either, oh, I recognize this. And, um, maybe my mother or grandmother would have handled it that way, but I'm going to go off and swerve this way because I want to break that pattern.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I think that's really important to acknowledge. And, um, we have our laughs. We have our laughs.
So with this new moon, what's the takeaway message here?
Slow and steady.
Okay, so try not to speed through things and
Right.
make decisions quickly. Just take your time,
Yeah. And be
uh,
mindful of what's going on around you.
and make plans.
Yeah. Be watchful of your reactions, as you get together with groups of people that you only see once a year. And, you're probably getting together with people that have not been on a spiritual journey.
So
Are
think before
clueless
you
about,
open up your mouth.
yeah.
Try not to
Um,
rock the boat.
yeah.
Keep the
I
peace.
mean, slow and steady seems to be Capricorn is cardinal earth, so slow and steady. Chiron is slow and steady. It is in Aries, which gives it a little bit of oomph and hot-headedness. So again, it's that Saturn stoic kind of energy versus like a Uranian chaotic kind of energy. So um, I feel like navigating that, very methodically is probably a good strategy. And
So I'm feeling, is the majority of the collective feeling like a bit on edge or displaced with
I
their.
feel I feel upsettedness. I feel like a good bit of the collective is experiencing, the end of the year is all about evaluation, regardless of your religion or what you celebrate in terms of holidays. The end of a year is about evaluation, right? You reflect back on your year. You've got a new year to figure out, well, what do you want to do this coming year, whatever. And so I feel like the collective is certainly going through a sense of fighting off disappointment that another year has gone by. Life has not gotten any easier when do we get a break? When do things start coming a little more easy? When do we, get some brownie points for making those sacrifices, the personal sacrifices? I don't know that we ever do, and that's part of the acceptance of the story that we came here to live, and that we can write a new story if we choose to. I'm sure we all have opportunities to meet someone and not be as picky or particular about their behavior or their looks, in terms of, do you want to have like a dating relationship, or, you know, spiritual journeys are more about, you want a spiritual connection with your lover. You want something profound, and, you know, you can always dial back that desire and like go on dating sites and just date someone to pass time. And I mean, these are all choices we have. And the thing to remember about depression or feeling negative is you can't be down and depressed when you have choices. So, if you're making the choice that I'm okay, um, reclusive, or just minding my own business and doing my thing and trying to take care of you know, home, hearth, keeping gas. I keep bringing up keeping gas in the car because it's been so outrageous. Um, some people find dating fun. I've never been a dater. I've never dated really in high school. I've always just had one long-term relationship here and there, right? But some people are really into that, and it's again finding the sweet spot, or the calm place where you're good with your choices. And you know that if you make certain choices, then if you're starting to feel maudlin that you don't have a date for New Year's Eve, or you're not going to be getting a Christmas gift from a lover, we've
I
made
mean, I don't
decisions.
get a kiss.
Right?
Like,
Look, I
I
was,
get to drink my champagne all to myself. Hey, here's
that's
to
right. That's
2023.
right. With a little bit of OJ for the vitamin C.
Oh yeah, I can't forget
But,
that.
um, it's an interesting what we do to ourselves. Like we all have to just get to the root of whatever that feeling is, and then take ownership for the choices we've made. And it's hard. The spiritual work is not a cakewalk. I mean,
Oh
it
yeah, I
is.
mean, even for myself, I know I've been closed off. I mean, but that's by choice. Do I find it easy to open up? No. So it's a personal issue, that I have myself to blame, for being like that.
There's
So,
no blame. I think
well, I
it's
mean,
your
I just know I have
You're the
some
rock
work.
for other people to download their pain, and you help them process it.
Mhm.
And that takes a lot of energy. And so there's no blame of anything. It's just about being and recognizing where we are in the path, um, knowing that we can make change if we decided to, but just being okay with our choices, and trying not to be angry at ourselves, or anybody else for that matter, for not being who we wanted them to be, or we weren't who they wanted us to be. And not taking on any of that kind of, um, what did I do, or what could I have done, or you know battling any kind of self-esteem issues. So, what made me, I guess, work in some retail, being out in the stores, watching people shop. And this time of year, you see men shopping more, which is so kind of funny. You can tell they're like a fish out of water, right? They have no clue. They have a little piece of paper. Yeah, a little piece of paper, and they're looking, and it's really funny. But it occurred to me, it's been a hell of a long time since I've bought any kind of boyfriend or man in my life a gift. I mean, a
Mhm.
really long, really long time. Like, you could count my dad back in the 90s, but before that, it was like the 80s.
Wow, damn, honey.
That hit me recently. I was like, well, shit, I haven't had to buy a man a Christmas gift in 30 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
It is a long time and it's flown by. It
Wow.
is
And I'm
flown
sitting
by.
here like it's been a while, but 30, yeah, add a zero. Like,
And then my next train of thought was, why did I think about that? What, but I like I said, I've been doing this part-time retail.
no,
Um,
it's a really good way to make these observations. Obviously, you're put into a position to be more observant of
yeah,
people, and you
yeah.
weren't so observant of that before. But maybe looking
I
like at
know what
the
it made me
person.
feel. I just realized the trigger was watching these guys walk around sort of baffled about what to get their wife or girlfriend for Christmas. I recognized that would be me. If I needed to go out and buy a boyfriend a gift, I'd be like, shit, I don't know what he wants. I don't know what to get.
No, like my friend, his
Money.
wife, her
Here's
love
some money.
language. Oh yeah.
Go buy
So
yourself a gift. I don't mean to sound that way. I'm sorry.
no,
It's
it
clear.
no, I can actually relate because I have a male friend and his wife loves gifts and she
I
expects
remember you talking about
to
that.
have those. Well, they've talked about it. So, they're the type of couple who talks about their love languages and what they like and don't like. And, he's an acts of service guy. She's like a gift giver. She likes, words of affirmation and things like that. But yeah, so he's really stressed out every Christmas, because she wants gifts and he's very money conscious. Like, there's a budget, if you want something, you get that one thing and you don't get much of anything else. And so she understands that. And this goes with like her getting a car or, and it's always them comparing themselves to other couples, like other couples seem to be doing much better than they are. But it's not like my friend is like, he doesn't have a title on him. He's a very like he's a programmer, but he does a lot,
Right.
and so, like, being with other people who have more money, because the other people that have money, they have investments in real estate and they have like their own networking business. And so it's a little step up from what he does. But
Well, and one of the other things about this time of year too is why can't we all be sort of giving and free with our time with others all throughout the year instead of this big pressure that at the end of the year you've got to go buy the gifts
well,
for.
the thing is that he does that.
Yeah,
But it's the Christmas. It's the
yeah,
whole like, the traditional
right.
aspect of. But honestly, for this Christmas, and this is me talking personally, um I'm not feeling it. I don't know if it's just me. I love Christmas. I'm like you, but I'm not a Grinch about it. But this year I'm not feeling it, and I don't know why.
That's okay. One of y'all had said you had a question for me. I have a question and then it flipped by. You wanted to know how long I've been single. Let me put it this way. I got divorced in 1989.
Oh, how long have you been single, Sonny? And No More Lies had a question.
So, 1989, I was divorced, and I have not as much had a decent dinner date since. So,
Wow.
yeah, I've had
89.
some really bad dinner dates that never went into a second date.
You're
But
talking about
yeah,
a good dinner date.
I had a lot in my chart with a lot of Cancer energy. I was all about commitment to my family. So, as my parents got sick, really sick,
So it's not
really
like you
long
could
time.
really put that energy
It was
and
all about taking care of home and my parents. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I never was really out. And when I was young and pretty, now I'm just really
You're young and pretty.
done.
You're gorgeous. What are you
Oh, you're
talking
very
about?
sweet. Very sweet. Thank you.
You have this aura or glow.
Oh gosh. Oh, sweetie. Oh, gonna make me
Yes,
cry.
yes, you do.
Dates? Yeah, no. I've had a couple of friends try to set me up with blind dates, and that's something I hate to say I swear off anything, but I've kind of sworn that off because I don't know what friends are thinking. I don't know what I think people are bothered by you being single more than you're bothered about being single. Like there's just certain people that have the opinion that everybody's got to be matched up. Everybody needs somebody. And I think 30 years, it's hard to not let go of my control of survival, self-preservation. I've never had someone take any load off, or in fact, when that girl came in the other day calling it the boyfriend,
Mhm, mhm.
and she was going on about, I mean, it sounds like it's not a healthy relationship. Of course, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut, but she said something to me. Like, they don't know if I'm married or single or anything at this office. I just stay to myself. But she said something about, was I going to be getting together with anybody or whatever? I was like, if I ever do meet a man, he would have to bring something to the table. I have done and done and given and given and given all my life. And I've never had that feeling of someone wanting to come and make my life better. It's
You
always
know
been
what?
about
This
me.
is my issue. I haven't felt okay, hold on, let me backtrack. I find it difficult to have a man in my life to take care of me.
Because you've taken care of yourself forever.
I don't know how to accept a man's kindness, I guess.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'm about to cry. Jesus Christ.
Well, and it's like maybe in the past, in our youth, I can think of men that I trusted only for them to break that bond, right? My ex husband, I've had maybe two or three long term boyfriends when I was younger. And every single time it was about sleeping with another woman, going off to another woman. And I've
Mhm.
often wondered, gosh, if you're nice to somebody and you have, the willingness and open heart to make a healthy relationship, you know, why does someone feel like they can just go off and be um, deceitful? I've never understood. And maybe in their life, they are not used to someone being good to them and don't believe that it can be good. So then, if the opportunity presents itself, they don't think anything of it. They just go with the flow or go in the moment. I don't know, but I'm
I really
definitely,
don't know either. All I
loyalty is very important to me. And I've had a hard time in life finding that through women friends or men or bosses or my own family. Shit.
Mhm.
My own brothers have not been very nice. So I've not had a great male role model to even know what to look for in a healthy partner.
Even if I were to receive it, it would be very hard for me to accept it.
Yeah, I'm with you. And
It
then
really
I think, maybe the work we're doing spiritually in this lifetime, because it's baggage from many lifetimes, that's our gig here,
mhm.
and believe me, I reflect back sometimes, just like making this admission here and now, that my God, it's been a long time since I've had a boyfriend or anybody really. And it's like, wow, I just guess that must be my gig in this life, because I think the opportunities have been there, but it's never, the stars have never aligned.
Well,
you know,
honey, you need to do your own dang chart. If I could do it, I'd do it for you.
the thing about, just like reading your own cards or looking at your own chart, it always feels like you see the worst thing, right? I have a very difficult chart. So I've had plenty of readers tell me I have a difficult chart, but
Oh,
that's what I mean about embracing what your journey is instead of trying to fight it or resist it. I feel like I hit 60 and something happened to me in my head where I surrender. I, I can't figure it out. I'm not going to try to figure it out. I know what my responsibilities are to keep myself healthy with shelter, and I got my dogs. And,
mhm.
you know, that's a lot right there. And that's what I mean about, we all need partners who help carry the load in life, not be another burden or not be another,
Oh, yeah, like an equal partner.
yeah.
And at this day and age, that's slim pickings. Like, that's hard to come by.
Another thing in society that frustrates me is the married part, like whether they're married men or married women. There's a real breakdown in that moray, where there's a segment of society that doesn't think there's anything at all wrong with being married and having someone on the side. And then, there's another very Victorian segment of society that's like monogamy is priority, and if you break that bond of trust in a relationship, you're done. But I've known plenty of men and women that have forgiven their partners for infidelity. And I sit here and I'm like, I could never take my ex-husband back. Never, ever, ever, ever. I've never
Mhm.
spoken to him since our divorce. He got a girl pregnant while we were married, had a baby. I mean, it's
Oh, I
like,
didn't know that.
yeah, yeah, he had a baby like 6 months after our divorce. So
Oh,
I think
that
I think the
happened
way that math
beforehand.
works. Yeah. Yeah. What a mm.
Is he with that one now?
No, no, that so I was the first wife, she was the second wife, and he's divorced from the third wife.
Okay. He
Yeah.
had problems.
So,
Oh,
after I heard about, and I don't go trying to find out information, but it comes like through the grapevine, through mutual friends or people you knew at that time. And when I found out a few years ago that he had gone through a third divorce, it finally hit me. Shit, wasn't my fault. Where I've probably been carrying that baggage of, I did something wrong. I didn't know how to be married or whatever. When somebody goes through three divorces within a 20-year period, it might not be you.
oh yeah, I know. I can. I
It's
understand.
really interesting. I think in these days and times, because we are shifting into a whole new age of um, psychic ability, telepathy, synchronicity, new age, metaphysics, quantum physics, our universe is evolving into a very fluid kind of society, how people travel and move. Where I'm working right now, it's like, it's not the traditional, like everybody's physically in the same office. I work for guys that are in a, 2 hours away who currently, one's down south, one's, I mean, everybody is like, we're in
All
this age
over.
of everybody's kind of all spread out, but connected by the laptop. You still get your work done, you still communicate, but you're not physically in the same building or whatever. And I think that's interesting because I think a lot of people, um, men and women and of all ages seem to be more solo. Um, it's almost like just to pay the bills and keep yourself together, you can't handle trying to take care of another person. There's some young attorneys where I work that are single, that they're just working their butt off and work all the time and have no social time. Women too, but I'm working for a couple of younger ones in their 30s that they're in the beginning of their careers. They work around the clock. They live alone. And they travel a lot for a hobby. So it's interesting how our society is on the move and, connected by, the internet, and they, whoever the, wise people in the robes in another dimension are, it's said that of the future, as we evolve into the new age, it's more Atlantean, like people will communicate telepathically, people who have never thought of themselves as psychic or having psychic ability. This whole Chiron stationing and synchronicity, when someone that's just kind of been robotic in their life and going through the motions and not thinking about their spirit, not thinking about lessons in their life or past lives or reincarnation or any of those metaphysical kind of things, when they start having synchronicity and sort of psychic events, that they call this the Great Awakening, where people are just awakening to the powers within themselves to manifest things and not needing Big Brother to take care of us and provide our 2 gallons a day of water or whatever. So it's an interesting fight between that very stoic Saturn, hardcore disciplinarian, tyrannical energy, and Aquarius, who's just, I want to be free. I need to travel. I need to try things in unconventional ways. I need to invent new ways. And that's what we've been going through really intensely this year. And so you talk about the new year, and I thought that, it might be nice to pull our cards for each sign, thinking of what does 2023 have for each sign. And I have a really lengthy article on lionmountainhealing.com if anyone wants more details about the new moon energy and the winter solstice and the beginnings of Mercury retrograde. But it might be nice to do a little insight into what does 2023 mean for each sign. And I chose this deck because it seems to be the one that I get the most positive feedback on. I think because they're big, they're easy to see, and they're just the major arcanum. They're not any of the court or any of the minor arcanum. So, yeah, what do you think? You want to try that?
Yeah, sure. I was just trying to like work these extra features. I never really.
Oh, what's this say? But gaslighting is kind of varied and includes a lot of things that don't really stand out as bad as are in fact. Oh, I mean, our whole hierarchy and media gaslights us on a daily basis. And certainly in the twin flame journey, it's all part of that narcissism and not good stuff, right?
Mhm.
Not
Mhm.
good stuff. All right. So this is for 2023, right?
Right. So we're gonna go through each sign. So
2023 is the, um, wow, it's really exciting. Well, first off, the first 4 new moons of the year are at 1 degree, which 1 degree is always about new beginnings, um, the intensity of the energy. Like, I think it's January 6th is the Cancer full moon. And the moon rules Cancer. So any Cancerian full moon is usually very emotional, and, you know, it's all about nurturance and the mother. And um, so we're going to be starting out the year feeling very sensitive emotionally and yearning, you know. Um, Cancerian energy is about the stomach and hunger. You know, I think we're all hungry for something that enriches our life. I have a question about this new moon. Well, we'll write it in that chat. And what is it? Y'all are so funny. You know each other so well. You have all of these little chats between you. Well, we always start at the beginning, which is Aries, Chewbacca. I'm loving my bike rides, but not like that way. What movie came to mind? Oh my God, the City of Angels. That was the bike ride from at the end where she gets hit. I love that movie, but it was very emotional. Do you remember that with John Travolta and Meg Ryan? It was called City of Angels, and he was an angel that fell to earth because he fell in love with her. And how
That's
pain
an
it was.
old movie. Oh
I
my
know how
god.
pain. Well, she said, what movie did I think of with bike rides?
Me
She was always
loving the
riding
bike
her
rides,
bike.
but not that kind of way, like riding the bike, you know? Like,
Oh God, no, I wasn't thinking that. I literally was thinking about movies with a bike ride in it.
no, she was meaning that.
Well, well, she rode her bike all over town. Oh my gosh. No, a bike ride's never done that for me. No, not actually. No.
You know, it's like the little girl bikes, right? I don't know if you know, back in the 70s and 80s, they had like that triangle, like, and it kind of dipped up, you know, sort of.
Y'all's minds are in the gutter. I have never thought of a girl's bike seat as a sexual enhancement thing.
Yeah, spin class.
I don't even know what to call it. I'm sure I'll never see it the same way again. Thank you guys. The visual is intense.
I
Banana
know. Yeah,
seat.
there you go.
I
I was
did
trying to
have a
figure out
banana
the name.
seat. But at that point in your life, you're too young to even know.
No, I remember that. It come with the handlebars and the little
Yeah, and a
tassels
little
on the side and the
basket,
basket. Yeah, with the
little
flowers.
tassels that would fly in the wind from the
Yeah,
handle. You
and
would
you
put
could
cards
pop
in the
lilies on
spokes
those
and they'd
bikes.
make clicking sounds. Banana.
The love seat.
Y'all are funny.
Man, I could pedal really good, really well on those little bikes. No, no kidding. But I remember those. Just
Well, I
saying.
guess if we get too hard up, we'll just have to buy a bike and
Yeah, we'll go back on
tune
memory lane,
around.
back to the 70s
You'll have a
where they had,
smile on your face and nobody will know what you're up to.
yeah, exploring our inner child, right?
Yeah, yes.
One for each cheek. Sorry.
It's too funny.
My
Spin
friends.
class, that's a good idea. Only the one at where near me, boy, that instructor, she was a tyrant. Oh my lands.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay, no more lies. I'll look for your email.
All right.
Mine
No,
is 80s or 90s.
mine was 80s or 90s, born in 82. Oh, that was before your time. Sorry.
I was graduating from college in 82.
Yeah, I'm a 70s baby. So, yeah.
Well, here we are. Doesn't with light with very similar paths, and it really doesn't matter what our age is, does it? We're all coming together to try to have some laughs over some very difficult emotional times and
Yeah, but
healing.
they were missing out on those years.
Yeah,
Just saying that's when we all
the,
went outside to play. We didn't have, well, TV only came on for
right,
like, I don't know how many hours, 12 hours a day or something. I think it was less
right.
than that. And we
Well,
only had like select programs that we could watch, you know,
I
on the.
was sitting next to a young attorney at our luncheon yesterday, and someone asked her when she was born. She was born in 1995.
Oh,
And all I could think of is I have shoes older than her. Yeah,
95. How old is that now?
25.
25? Wow.
Yeah. young, married. Yeah, she's already married.
Already married
Yeah.
at 25. Okay, that's not that bad.
No, it just seems very young to me
Yeah,
now.
because when I hear 95, I'm like, how old is that? Like,
I
that's
know.
close to 2000s. But then again, my sons, they were born in the early 2000s, so like 20.
Well, we have to love ourselves just the way we are, not actually my name. So don't
Mhm.
criticize this or that. Every wrinkle just shows a little more character about what you've gone through in life.
Honey,
And
I got wrinkles too. I mean, don't let this glow like fool you. It's just like blending in like
yeah,
the fine lines.
don't look too close.
I know, right? Let me turn the light off.
I swear the other morning, all of a sudden it seemed like a half a dozen more appeared. I was like, where the heck did those come from?
I just well, so that's why I do like the nightly routine where I'm always
Yes.
massaging my face.
Yes.
But it kind of like anyway.
Beautiful. Yes.
What the hell's going on out there?
Where's Luna?
She's in the living room. That's TV? Oh, yeah, it's so loud. I don't know what the hell drama is going on out there.
Oh, you're so sweet. I'm a reflection of you, not actually my name.
Sorry, my parents are watching drama. I was like, is that real drama or drama on TV? Like,
Gunshots and screaming.
I know, I was like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, am I missing out? Like, all right, so I have Aries up here.
Aries for 2023. We've got Chiron in Aries right now, so that's a bit of wounded healer energy, helping
So, do you
others.
think that Aries are going through it right now?
Well, define going through it. If you have been through, say, the loss of a loved one and your friend just lost a loved one, so you're able to help that friend because you have walked that path. So is that a going through it? I don't know. I think it's about using what they've been through to help others, teach
Okay.
through their wounds. Yeah.
Okay.
They
Well,
have to have felt that in order to help others uh, do with it.
okay. So maybe a level of wisdom that is coming in with Aries.
And
Um,
also, they may be in college or return to some institution of higher education because that's all about expanding the higher mind, maybe even foreign travel to learn about cultures and language.
okay.
All right.
Girl, what are you talking about? Anyway.
Well, how about this for Aries? Justice,
Oh, okay.
which is a very mature, wise kind of energy, a balancing. Aries can be very compulsive. So, when they mature more emotionally and get some balance or stability with their emotions, things stabilize. A lot of times their lives stay on the go because they're constantly making impulsive decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So 2023 might be a grounding kind of year for Aries.
Maybe also going through some sort of legal situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually have two cards here. I have the High Priestess and the Six of Wands.
Wow, that's pretty mature.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know with that dude grabbing her booty. Um,
I don't see a bicycle anywhere around.
I know, right? So here's the feminine form. So this is kind of like the mystic, right? Someone who is seeking
Is
like
that long red hair? Does she have red hair?
mm-hmm. Well, actually, she's brunette, but it looks reddish.
Kind of auburn.
Mm-hmm.
She needs
Auburnish.
that fiery nature of Aries to pop off and go in lots of different directions.
Yeah, and you see that she has the keys, but they look like
Yeah.
scissors. So I think that that's kind of interesting. I really feel that I don't know. It's like the studying, like like you say, like Aries is learning something, and also maybe they will be successful. Six of Wands energy. They're gonna whatever they're gonna go after, they're gonna get. Especially with these boots. Oh my god.
These boots are made for walking,
I don't know if
and
she's
that's what
walking.
I'm gonna do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Yeah, she walking. She was
She's
like,
walking.
I see goats and a bunny and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, Aries, it looks like it's gonna be a good year for you.
I
So,
think so. I think it looks like a year of fruitation.
hmm so now we have Taurus. Wow, it's a lot. I'm just pick one. I have your King of Chalices.
Oh, the sun.
Okay, well, this is like Taurus energy, right? Like King of Pentacles.
It's
I don't know.
beautiful.
Yeah, like really positive energy.
New investments. Uh,
Maybe a loyal woman by your side or a man, depending on what you are. Um,
and the sun also is about, you know, childlike wonder, maybe finding that soulmate that reminds you it's never too late to have a happy second childhood.
yeah, I really feel like finally Taurus, you get to be with whoever you want to be with, especially if you're a twin. Maybe 2023 is the year for you where you actually get to spend that time. I mean, shoot, you have the sun here, so
I know. Promises fulfilled.
yeah, that's beautiful. So Taurus, yeah, it's looking good.
Looking good, Taurus.
All right, next we
Always
have
looking good there for Taurus.
I know. So we have next Gemini.
Oh, Gemini, the world. So this is about completion of a cycle, having all the tools you need to begin anew, have new growth.
I have the world too.
Oh, cool, Gemini.
Wow, double world. Like, do you
Double
see?
worlds.
This one has a dude like licking the toes off that woman, and she is like having fun. So maybe there's like a new beginning here, a completion of a cycle where you get to be with your true love. It's actually positive. So I was sitting here thinking, is 2023 gonna be
And,
okay? But
you
it
know,
looks
the
like it's
the egg shape also can represent fertility and, maybe starting a family.
I can see that. Um,
Double worlds. That's pretty unique, isn't it?
it really is. Two worlds, maybe two
Oh,
different.
what's that song? Two Worlds Colliding in excess.
Is it?
Two Worlds Colliding.
Oh yeah, that's a line of one of their songs. I actually listened to an NXS song a few days ago. That's weird. I haven't heard from them in a while.
They're kind of my go-to when I need to dance. It's got a good beat. I never get the world. Well, maybe that's going to change. Okay, Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Cancer has a full moon coming up in the first week of January, so that could mean a little more emotional.
And that's Luna. Luna is a Cancer. She like,
Oh, I have the star.
aw. And I have Eight of Pentacles. Maybe this is like work opportunities.
I was going to say expansion with the money.
Yeah, that's looking good. It's flowing. And
Yeah.
plus, there's a man that's gonna crush you with a flower, like
A
as you're
rose.
drinking a cup of coffee, watching Netflix.
I hope that rose doesn't have any thorns on it.
Nah, there's no thorns. I see it. It's actually, yeah, yeah. He's enjoying his time next to his woman over there. So yeah,
Wow, this is really promises fulfilled
maybe Cancer, you're gonna meet your person from work.
and stars in alignment.
Yes. And then y'all like hit it off and stuff. So if
Very
that man,
balanced. Yeah, very, all that nice water balanced. Yeah, the holidays will be over. You don't have to be around family you don't like, all that good stuff.
it's looking good. I like it. So next we have Leo.
Leo, 2023. Oh, got the Emperor.
All right. And I have Ace of Wands.
Oh, this is good.
uh,
Wow. So this is a lot of vitality, a lot of that Leo fired up, following your heart, manifesting what you
your
desire.
passion, your
Yeah,
desire, new beginnings.
in control.
And it's coming quickly too. Like there's that fireplace,
Oh
and I
yeah,
really, yeah, it seems like, well, some, if you're thinking of your twin, you could maybe have time with your twin. Because I see here like these little people in here in this flame, but also there's like these the couple here on the bed enjoying themselves in the wintry cold. So yeah,
Emperor just kind of looks like in control of their domain. Just feeling very stable and vital.
taking
I'm a
making,
Leo, and when I look at this card, I can tell you that in the last month of this year and looking forward to the new year, I was feeling very low in terms of energy and vitality. And I have felt a resurgence of viability,
yeah, because the wand here is like quick
needing, yeah,
energy.
having a new influx of forward motion energy, getting up out of bed feeling excited about the day instead of, oh God, another day. So, yeah, I think Leo might be feeling better for the new year,
That's
feeling
good.
useful, have a purpose.
Well, that's good. I
Yeah,
like that.
doesn't feel good to not feel like you have a purpose.
Right, but if you're cozied up with a gentleman, then that's a
That
bonus.
would be a nice purpose. I was going to say porpoise. We go
Well,
swimming with the dolphins
you know,
or
the
pie.
that's the telepathic,
Yeah, yeah,
conversation there.
yeah.
All right, next we have Virgo.
Poor worrisome Virgo. Hopefully, they won't worry as much in the new year.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Okay, so we've got Judgment, Rebirth. This is another ending of a karmic cycle to begin anew,
Like another chance.
calling in the angels with Archangel Michael's trumpet.
And I have the stars.
That's nice. So Virgo, this is like having passed some sort of judgment or karmic cycle, maybe
Mm-hmm.
learning about guardian angels and the effect of the divine in our lives. The star is promises fulfilled.
But
What's
she's pouring milk on his
I
body.
was gonna say, what is that in her hands?
I keep thinking, I mean, I'm not thinking, I keep looking at that part. It's like white milk. Like,
He's being nursed.
yeah, and he's like taking it. Like, is she milking him? I don't know. But yeah, in you know, in other ways. But yeah, wishes being fulfilled. There's like a second chance, I
Yeah,
feel, is coming towards you, Virgo. So this all looks very positive.
a
Yeah.
rebirth.
Like a rebirth, doing something new, like a do-over, right?
And this card too, I look at those mountains in the background like a celebration of some sort of mountain that's been conquered, or you know how sometimes mountains represent problems and it's in the background far away, like we've moved forward from some sort of karmic problem.
Yeah, and I see like the angels are assisting or
Yes.
giving guidance to Virgo. Yeah, I feel like Virgo possibly went through some hard times, but now you're getting like like a chance. So like during this time, just really make your assessment, really, think about what you want for 2023, and you possibly have another chance to do it right this time. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Right. Do it right.
Do it. Just do it.
There's- that was another good old song.
So next we have Libra.
All right, I don't get this. I like cougar it up, I suppose, but if I'm going to take care of a boy, you better at least be younger than me so they seem less bum like. I don't know that age is associated to bum like. I know old men that are bum like.
Oh, so what she's saying is that if they're younger, they better not be a bum. She
Yeah,
don't mind being a cougar over a young thing. So, yeah. I don't know about that. I can handle a younger person, but, they have to be mature. I can't be doing no immature thing.
yeah. Kind of look past the physical part to get to a deeper spiritual connection. That's that lesson. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Not actually my name for the super sticker. I didn't see that. Sorry. Okay, so now we have Libra.
Oh, Libra. This is pretty. Strength.
Oh, okay. And I have Knight of Swords.
So Libra, you might have to like set some boundaries or assert your strength, assert your power. Looks like in that your card there's someone trying to dominate Libra.
With the truth. They're like, if you don't tell me the truth, I'm gonna cut your hair off. Like what?
It's
And
like
then everybody's watching. So maybe you're just gonna have to be honest or get to the truth of the matter. People are watching you, maybe.
be strong. Know
Yeah,
that time is infinite. Maybe Libra's been worrying too much about running out of time, and this is a
I think
reminder.
Libra was worried about what other people might think,
Yeah.
but you're gonna have to be strong and don't care about what other people think. Do you. Don't do it for other people.
You know, I have a good Libra friend, and she is 78 or more years old, almost 80, and she still worries about what people think. I forget where we were recently, and she was like, something about what other people think. I was like, oh my God, you're
Who
not really
cares?
worried about it. What, you know, come on now.
Yeah. I feel like Libra
Gotta
has
give
this.
that ghost up. Yeah.
Yeah, let it go. I mean, who cares? I'll be all right. If you can let go, then you'll be all right for 2023.
Libra can be very nervous.
Mhm.
You know, they're kind of a nervous energy and want everything to be harmonious. And in this world right now, that's kind of rough.
So the signs that would ground a Libra would be a Gemini, right?
Yeah. Um, so Libra in the natural zodiac is the seventh house, which is partners and marriages, relationships, ruled by Venus. So, you know, their opposite is Aries, and a lot of times opposites attract. You know, they
Mhm.
each have their other components, so they find common ground. Um, and that is fire and air. So if you look at it from elements, you know, fire and air feed each other.
Mhm. Make steam.
And so, but I honestly, when it comes with comparison charts, it really has to do with, you know, Libra could have 5 planets in Virgo, and, you know, what we just said wouldn't apply because they're so heavy Virgo. So then,
Mhm.
you know, it might be more of a Pisces energy that would be for them. So it's very individual. Relationship charts are real individual. Hard to make blanket statements on what sign. I saw that recently, a lot of comparison, who gets along with who. And I thought, you know, I used to do that kind of stuff a long time ago. And now I feel like it's just so individual, right? Where each person is on their path, how much baggage they're carrying. It's just so many elements to it. Relationships are so complex when you think about it. But I
So
think
when
that's
you think about compatibility, what would you look at? Just like off the
the
top.
elements. Fire, air, earth, water. Start
Mhm.
with the basic elements. And if
And
the
then just
chart,
match it up and see if it's
so like fire and earth um, can put out fire. Fire can scorch the earth. So that then you've got water and fire. So that's a delicate balance because water can put out fire. Fire can dehydrate water. You know, when they're in balance, there's your steam. Um, air and air. So, you know, two Geminis together are a whole lot of fun, but probably never really get anything done. You know, or two Earth people
so
together.
there's no perfect match.
Well, you know, I think why I stopped looking at it as sort of rules so much is because I would see charts of a couple that should have got along great, just look perfectly matched on paper in a chart, and were not together and not doing well and not wanting anything to do with a relationship. And then you come across a couple who's been together a long time. They're very respectful of each other. They support each other, very nice, very healthy relationship. And you look at their charts and you'd go, there's no way these people can get together. And I've always kind of thought it was like a way for the universe to keep our ego in check, that we do not know anything really.
Mhm.
This is a language, it has interpretations, and the universe has these wonderful little cosmic glitches that throw all of our theories out the window.
Okay.
that's that's what I've noticed, but it certainly is fun, you know. And I love when people contact me about wanting charts for their new interest or whatever, but so much at play about the individuals and where they are in their own path, carrying forward negative experiences that they project on the new partner. right?
Okay.
Not having the baggage that carries on into a relationship with the same pattern.
Okay, makes sense. So if you guys want a chart done and you want to check in,
Please
yeah,
reach out. Yeah. lionmountainhealing@gmail.com.
yes. Okay. So now we have Scorpio.
Scorpio, the chariot, on the
Okay.
move. I feel like Scorpio is kind of like that little bear who's been hibernating and he's poking his nose out the cave, maybe deciding to come out and engage in life again.
Yeah, I feel that way. I feel like I've been in hermit mode for far too long.
I just feel like this is a lot of movement forward and coming out and getting things done and finding balance in getting things done. And
So I have 4 of Swords.
mm,
I know, right? It's like in your head needing to really think. But see, do you see what she's doing?
I don't know. Do I? I'm not sure.
She's got her hands covered on the goodies,
Yeah.
and he's got his finger rubbing up in her lip.
Okay. So she's coveting his jewels.
Yes, and he is. I don't know what he giving her like a brush, like.
I'm not going to touch that.
And he's got his sword down, so I don't know. Um, I don't know why is she covering up. Like she should be like, here, open your
He's
mouth.
definitely dominating her, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. But so if this is like a movement forward, is this like getting out of your comfort zone? Like, are you thinking about it or are you gonna do something about it, right? Like, I feel like, because Scorpio is so fixed on something, they need to go out and explore. Like, open your hands and see what's inside.
You might have some jewels.
I don't know, unless it's tiny and it's like,
We're going to be nice.
sorry.
Um,
No, it's not that.
so it's balance. So the chariot is about, so the dark horse and the light horse, right? So this is kind of facing their demons. Maybe that's what she's trying to decide there is.
I don't know, but she's confused. He's like, babe, like, open up your mouth. And she's like, no, like, I can't. I'm just, I'm just like, yeah, I can't handle this. It's been a while, but you got this. Here, let me show you. Like,
He does look like he's trying to show her something there.
let me put my sword down so that I can help.
Yeah, any real Scorpio woman would not allow that. I can tell you that.
The Scorpio woman be like,
Are you joking?
like, just enough with the hands
She'd be
already.
getting in her chariot and galloping away.
I'll tell you how to do it. Like, what?
Take control.
Yeah, I'll stick
This
my
chariot is
finger
about
up your
power,
mouth.
right? So Scorpio maybe is through their balance coming
I
into their
think this is
power.
all a show. This is like, no, I can't. But there must be something like that's preventing her to like really be open with this
Oh, I
guy.
know what it is. He's checking her mouth for cavities.
Oh, okay, yeah. Have you been nutty or nice?
Yeah.
What have you been drinking? It's not
Are
that
your dentures
good.
out? Can you take your dentures out? Oh,
Let
that's
me give you some
I'm sick.
protein.
It's sick. We're digressing here at
Oh,
8
sorry. Okay,
on a Friday night.
let's move on.
Scorpio will bring that kind of digression out of you, though.
Yeah, well, that's the Scorpio in me coming out. The
That man's in trouble right there. With that, if that's a Scorpio woman, he's in trouble. He's
Scorpio woman be like, Oh, that ain't nothing.
I think Scorpio's new year might be about them coming into their power and not being afraid to show their control or power, as long as it's in a positive way.
Well, Scorpios like to dominate.
Yes.
So it's very almost very similar to Capricornian energy because Capricorns are very, I'm in charge, like
The comments here are hilarious. He hasn't washed the clotted cream. Meaty legs like like Serena.
Serena.
That's so fun. See, we know how to have fun.
Yeah, I remember this.
Do a
Yeah.
New Year's Eve party online.
Well, that could be a thing. I mean, I'm not doing much. I'm not even going out, so it's.
I never go out on New Year's Eve. It's pretty
I think the
crazy
last
out there.
time I ever celebrated was with my twin, and he turned in early because he got in an argument with his ex-wife.
You know, one of the attorneys gave me a real expensive bottle of wine today. I mean, bottle of champagne. So
Mhm.
I think I'm going to chill it and open it on New Year's Eve.
So I think that sounds good.
Yeah, it's a really nice bottle of champagne.
Well, drink one for me because I'm allergic to alcohol.
Okay. I'm going to put my OJ in it, get my vitamin C.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't forget.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve in NYC is the ultimate tourist trap. I just stay indoors. Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
must be in
Oh,
the
my God.
neighborhood. Yeah.
So on my honeymoon, I bought these really expensive art glass champagne flutes. Back in the 80s, they were like $60 a piece, really expensive art glass. I coveted those things for years. Never really knew what I was going to do with them.
What
And
is a bong? Like a champagne bong?
flute, I don't, it's like the tall, skinny champagne flute glass.
Okay.
Tall,
Yeah.
skinny, narrow. It's a flute. And I guess it was a couple of years ago, I was cleaning out and one dropped to the floor and smattered in smithereens. And
Oh
I'm like,
no.
how apropos. I have one champagne flute from a honeymoon trip.
Is that a sign or what?
Yeah, his probably needed to shatter. Yeah.
Well, you said that it's time to declutter, right? And clear out your space.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
it's time to offer up and get some new
Yes.
ones for the new beau.
Oh, well, he can buy them.
That's right. He can, and
He
he's
can
gonna
bring them
come
to
with
the
that bottle of
table.
champagne with some flowers
Like
and
some
chocolate.
Waterford, yeah, some Waterford champagne flutes would
Oh,
be.
I love Waterford Crystal.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Mhm. I love it
Some
too.
red ones for the new year.
Ooh, that sounds a little out of my league,
I
but
think they're about $100 a piece, if I'm not right. Yeah,
yeah,
they're
they're
pricey.
expensive.
Whoa! So
So,
we're on Sag, and this just jumped out.
what do you have?
Death.
Oh, Jesus. I have the Hermit. That's so
Oh
strange.
wow! So Sag is really getting down to the bone of the matter in their life.
Mhm. Taking time to really look at it, but do you see this? Sag has been looking at this candle while their person has been playing with this other person.
Hmm.
Sag, what are you, I mean, like, are you like wanting to be single or are you gonna, like, what do you want? You want the
I think
candle or you want that woman? Like,
I think Sag wants to start over. I think he's kind of done with,
the playing and
yeah, he's
being
gonna,
free. Doesn't pay to be free all the time.
I
Yeah.
actually had that feeling recently about Sag, I guess because the sun's been in Sag. They really are good relationship people, but they do like their independence and freedom within the relationship. So
Hmm.
to be with
Well,
Sag,
just as long as they have that with their partner, then it would work.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Now, I really feel like because I've been reading Sag all year round, and it just seems like Sag has been getting like the good stuff, but finally, maybe Sag is wanting to settle down, with that person.
Yeah.
So
Stop fighting.
maybe, yeah. And instead of being with the other person, maybe it's time to look at what you really want.
I also feel strongly like this is a time for Sag to seriously, who are interested in writing and publishing, this is a good year to seriously put down the words in a manuscript, seriously look about publishing that book, getting down. This is writing the bones down
Mm-hmm.
and higher education. So through their past experience, they write, say a self-help book on relationships and betrayal.
Yeah, and by the look of this, I think he has some
He's
experience
yeah,
here.
yeah, he's feeling betrayed.
Yeah, the candle blew out. His twin is
You
off center.
know, the Sag I knew the most, besides my mother, but she was my mom. But I went to the same guy for 26 years to get my hair cut, and he was a Sag. And after 26 years, you get to know someone pretty well. And we were like brother and sister. He talked to me about girls he'd date. And he didn't know this, but I knew he had a history of gay relationships too. So he was bisexual, and which nothing wrong with that, but he never brought up the relationships with men. But I knew of him before he cut hair, and he was known to have same-sex relationships. So the thing as he aged, because 26 years, you tend to see someone grow up. And I ultimately ended up being his Medicare agent when he turned 65 and retired. And it was like all these years of being sort of flitting around and not, he had two marriages. He actually remarried the second wife, who was much younger than him, like by 30 years. And he would act like a little boy, like he just didn't know why that didn't work out when she was going back to her young boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to just watch him. He reminded me of Peter Pan, just like never wanting to grow up and flitting around in life and not taking it seriously. And then as he got closer to 65, there was a distinct difference in his energy, just like what you just said, like he was ready to settle down, and he was almost looking to settle down. Or he would talk about a neighbor that would pull her shirt up to show him her boob job and stuff like that. And you could almost watch his mind like contemplating, like maybe I should settle down with her, or whatever. And
What, the boob job lady?
yeah. And so my point is, this might be a year for Sag to grow up a little bit and find that stability in that need of freedom. Like you
I
can, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, now that we're almost through all the signs here, almost. But it does I have to say it again, like, 2023 looks promising. I'm, like, kind of
Yeah,
excited.
it
Like,
is.
there's
You
so many
should be.
new energies
Yeah,
and, people finally coming to their senses
get
and
excited. It's a wonderful new year. I mean, compared to, 2020, 2019 to
20.
2022, I
Mhm.
mean, we've been through the meat grinder
Sounds good.
emotionally.
I'm ready. So I'm just gonna sit here and meditate on what I want for the new year and go for it. Just saying. Because next we have Capricorn.
And that's our new moon, our super moon.
So it should be a big,
Yeah, it's close
big.
to Earth, so you might see.
It's too cold to look at the moon.
It is. It is too cold to be outside. And my dogs don't mind the rain, the cold, any kind of weather. They dawdle even in bad weather. And it's so frustrating because you just want them to walk and get things done. And then just dawdle around, pouring rain.
Just like nothing's going on.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm freezing. Hurry up. Hurry up.
So, my Luna, she's potty trained in the house where she goes in the box.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to go outside. And one time I took her outside and it was raining. She looked at me. She's like, "Are
What am
you
I supposed to do
serious?
with this?
Huh?"
What am I supposed to do out here?
Yeah, she was like, and then she went and then she tried to look like she was doing her thing and then she went back upstairs. She was
Oh,
like, she had enough. I was like, okay. So I kind of knew that she's not like a cold person. So,
yeah, the new moon would not be visible tonight. It shouldn't be anyway. I guess we're thinking,
oh, yeah, I was thinking about the
yeah,
film. Yeah.
might be a little sliver out there in a couple of days. And the
Well,
canal
sometimes you can
coverage,
see it like,
if
in the
it's real clear.
sunrise,
Yeah.
you can see it. But yeah. So,
All right, Cappy. Here's the Hanged Man.
okay.
So a deeper faith in things meant to be, as in,
Taking that time out to think about it even more.
yeah, on earth as it is in heaven.
Mhm. So I have here, it's the 10 of Pentacles.
Oh, working.
Yeah, working for long term stability, maybe family, investments, but working on that person over there. Jesus. Like she
She
was
looked
like,
like she could,
she's
you know.
feeding him grapes. Like she's cut fruit and I don't know what else is going on.
She kind of looks like she could handle business on her own if she had to.
Yeah, she's like taking care of him while she's like lounging.
See, watch what I can do. The Hanged Man is all about having a deep faith in whatever you are in, especially in hard times or adversity. The Hanged Man is about testing your faith to believe that not only are you strong enough to survive, but you're actually able to excel during adversity.
Yeah. I was just looking at this card and I see,
Oh, where'd the sound go?
can she can you hear
Oh,
me?
there you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, okay. Um so like what I'm seeing here is that there is a mirror here that's really reflecting her.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, so she can actually see that. I don't know what this is all about, but maybe this is the reflection about the hangman energy.
Or
About
that
looking
every
at
part
things
of
from
her
a
is a
different
reflection of
angle.
her.
Sorry. It's like, I
It's
like it
deep.
an angle. Like, let me, oh, wow, I didn't recognize that. That
Where's my banana
is
seed?
interesting. Like, oh my God. Here, why don't you come a little closer? Oh my God, look at that. Like, oh, he eats those grapes. Yeah, just like that, like taking care of business like a boss.
You know, for Capricorns to put food with sex is very apropos.
Mm-hmm. Get it done. Do things at once.
Yes, there is a delay in the audio video. I don't know why.
Okay, it's probably because we're going 2 hours. And plus, we have weather, inclement weather going on. So
All
it
right.
could be different in everybody's. And so we
Aquarius.
have Aquarius, Hierophant.
Wow. Be
So for
wise.
me, I have Queen of Wands. Wow, did you say that?
Whoa.
You said that before I pulled it, right?
I said be wise.
Oh, be wise on him. I'm hearing shit. if that were the case, then she knows what she's doing. She's taking it off for him to see, and she knows it. Like all eyes on Madame over here. Oh, wow, look. So this gentleman does is he took off his glasses. He's just not even wearing his glasses. He can see just fine. Like
He's going to feel his way through the dark.
Feel his way through the dark.
yeah, so maybe Aquarius, you're going to maybe go after something that you feel is right rather than I don't know. Is this right though?
So I'm getting a loan to pursue a new invention idea.
Perhaps, yeah. I'm just so fixated on this dude looking at her. Maybe this is the new norm for Aquarius. There could be like a fire sign, maybe another earth sign that is under your radar for 2023. And this person could be like in the public sense, like maybe working in a government job or something. And one thing leads to another is what I'm feeling with that.
And the Hierophant is very spiritual feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Karmic.
Yeah, I feel like there's like some kind of strong energy here between you and this particular person. Like either you're fascinated with them or they're fascinated with you.
Well, hopefully both.
Yeah. So it could be a good thing, is what I'm saying. And yeah, this person is not wearing glasses. They can see. Like
They're feeling.
there's this attraction also that I'm getting with these two. So I really feel like you're gonna meet somebody for long-term commitment, and maybe the feelings, or you'll know that it's mutual.
So Aquarius and Leo are opposites.
Yeah, well, if that was the fire sign, that might be the one. So next we have Pisces.
Look.
Lovers. Lover.
Cupid's arrows.
Oh, I have two here. I have 3 wands and 8 of wands. Equals 11.
Wow. Pisces might have the love of their life in the new year.
Yeah, look at this. Under this moonlight, you guys are meeting up under some sort of rendezvous, like getting together. And look, oh my god. So here we are. This dude is feeding this woman a fig, and she's got her bustier up there like, yeah, I'll feed you something while you feed me. So yeah, communication very soon, quick communication from the love of your life. This could happen quick, like within 3 to 8 days, like right now, Pisces. So 3 days, that's after Christmas. This could be 3 to 8 weeks. So maybe you meet them during the retrograde, and I don't know. I feel like it's fire.
It feels good. I think they have got it going on for the new year.
Yeah, so Pisces, I mean, things are looking good for you. I like it. It's that dreamy romantic hair. Let's meet up by the blah blah blah, you know. And like, okay, Let me shower and then meet you there. So yeah, that sounds good, Pisces. Everyone is looking like they're gonna have a great year,
Absolutely.
from what I can see. Absolutely. Yeah. Um, what is beeping? I'm hearing it everywhere. Oh, it's probably my cell phone, but it didn't beep that much, did it?
I don't even know where my phone is.
Pisces is my moon. If I send you a gift next, will why open it alone?
Oh,
Why?
it's going to be a banana seat.
Gemini, the lovers, so no one sees any girl stuff. Not a toothbrush, though. Oh my god.
Hey, did
Honey, what in the hell? I
you
thought I was bad. So my marriage will be promising. I don't know, honey. I mean, is that your person? Can why eat sugar?
Oh, can you eat sugar?
Is it you? Can I eat sugar? Yes, I can eat sugar. I've been bad, guys. I'm vegan, okay? And my family is here, and I've been eating Philadelphia cream cheese. I've been eating imitation crab meat and fish cakes. I I'm gonna go back to vegan when they leave. I'm just saying. See, not actually my name. When will my DM knock on your door? I don't know, honey.
When you forget about him,
He'll
detach.
come when he comes. I did her a little reading before we got on today. I couldn't see a timing for that. Maybe finally your DF Aquarius will finally stop being a runner in 2023. Well, I mean, if you think it may manifest this year, Varakana. Y is 2. You. Oh, you. Okay, got it. Hey, will your biz succeed in the coming months? I don't know.
Think
What
it
kind of
to be.
business is it, Shibaka?
See it
What is
private.
it? You see it? Your sis is too. You can eat Oreos. You're funny. You know what? There's vegan Oreos at Whole Foods, and they actually taste bomb. I have not tried real Oreos in a long time. Just checking. Okay, so you said that you see it's thriving for Shibaka. Spirit. Will Shibaka's business thrive? Will become successful?
I would say yes.
Mm-hmm. I got a yes too. So yes, honey, it will be successful. You sent pics? Oh, okay. Let me look at my phone. Is that the beeping? Let me check. I don't know if that's my ex. Jesus, I don't know. I'm not gonna look right now. Is that a thing? Well, we're going into a Mercury retrograde again. So, Shabaka, did you say that you sent it to me through IG? Oh, damn. 10 messages. Yeah, it's like a party out in snow. That's how Canadians do it.
Thank you, Miss B.
She definitely went out. And let's see, here's another one. Oh, here's the fire, the flamethrower.
Nice.
Let's see here. Noel, uh, dans le parc. Noel in the park. Oh, sorry. Here's some of the photos. It looks very Christmassy. Like, I mean, it's snowing like full force. I guess the Canadians are. You guys are used to that stuff. Like, oh, look at this. There's a puggy.
Oh.
What is that? Is that what is this?
Oh.
Where are you, honey? Merino Queen. Shabaka. Who is this pug? Oh, these are the beanies. Oh wow, I need one. These are cute. I
Oh.
like them.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, these are. I mean, they're basic, and people they would get it. Oh, look, she has different colors. So you have a machine, I think. Peggy, you slept at my friend's place? That's your friend's place? I think she said she had a cuddle buddy that night. So she had fun. The hats are two colors, two in one, baby, reversible. Oh, okay. They're reversible. I don't
Nice.
know if you guys can see.
Love it.
I like it. Yes. Well, let me know where's your shop. I will mail some at least one. Turks are two sides. Okay. Awesome. I
Up
like
and
them.
warm.
Yes. My friend, she crochets, but she doesn't have a machine. She makes scarves and little beanies for me because my twin, he likes to crochet, and he actually tried to knit me a scarf one time, and he ended up giving it to his grandma-in-law because we got into a little, I don't know, we broke up or we got separated at the time, and I never received my scarf, and I was kind of bummed out about it. And so for years, my friend, she would knit me a scarf and a beanie, and they're nice and cozy. I actually wear it now. Like, so you're saying I'm letting my family pick first, then I'll show you and Sunny my gifts to you, actually. Oh, well, thank you, honey.
That's
Thank
great.
you. Yes, I would rock a beanie. Definitely. I love beanies. Going to start creating soon. Gotta order supplies. Okay. Should be a toy I can have around, but it seems you're funny.
Well, we've
So,
on here a while, and I don't think my sound is working right, so I'm going to go walk the dogs.
oh, okay. All right. So, does anyone have any other questions before we leave? Today, you're going to finish feasting and clean and journal and order supplies. Well, that sounds good. I think I'm just going to relax. Actually, not a lie. I'm actually working on a book for a client. So I have to
Miss
work on that.
Miss B, my email is lionmountainhealing@gmail.com.
There you go.
Hope
Up
Santa
here.
is good to everyone.
Yeah, Santa is always good, whether or not you've been naughty or nice. Take the green bag. Um, okay. Well, what's the green bag? What does that mean? I'm not sure. Merry Christmas, Shabaka. Is my crispy more voluptuous or less than ice on? Girl, you're funny. Thank
Uh,
you for this live. You're welcome. Poo bag. Okay. Of course she's gonna take the green bag.
I love that.
Thank
What
you. I
is
want to show you a fire dance ceremony and tell me what you see. It's beautiful. Okay, honey. Yeah, share it with us.
what is it? Balmar is the Celtic ceremony of fertility with the fires, the bonfires. Is it Balmor? Balmor. It's Celtic. I think it's coming up soon.
I forget the name, but I know what you're talking about. Yes, honey. Okay, we'll get to the puggy. She has Frenchies. I have a pug. So, yes, Merry Christmas, Miss B, and Merry Christmas to everyone. And thank you all for participating and being here with us on the live. And if you guys want to book a reading with Miss Lovely Sunny, you could visit her at linemountainhealing.com. And also, her email is linemountainhealing@gmail.com. Thank you
Thank you,
all.
guys.
And yes, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah. January 6th is a Cancer full moon.
Okay, so I'm not sure what the date is, but either it's on the day or prior to. We'll see you again.
Got it. All right.
Okay. All right.
Good
Thank
night.
you all.
Good
All right.
night.
Good night. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
All right. Bye.